Welcome to another Seek Out the Adventure video where you will be inspired to live an unusual and exciting life. This is the third episode of the Unsend project. For those that are tuning in for the first time, the Unsend project is a personal project of mine where I am going to go back and try to resend by unsending all of the 512 and harder routes that I've climbed. The current update is I haven't officially started to unsend the routes. This morning I woke up at 4:20 in the morning, headed to the canyon, met my partner, and the question was, do I jump on the route that I've already been on that I need to unsend and resend, or do I jump on this other route that I've been working on for a while? I chose to jump on the new route. I wanted to get this done so that I could put it to rest and then focus on the Unsend project. And the good news is, I sent it. So I added a new 512, a 512B called Merciless Onslaught at the Cannabis Wall in American Fork Canyon. I added that to my list of 512s, so eventually I'll have to go back and resend it as well. Merciless Onslaught is an awesome route. It took me 11 attempts during 5 different sessions and during 4 seasons. Now, it wasn't that I worked on it all of those 4 seasons. I went to the route once and I tried it, did 3 laps on it. Best I could do was a one hang, and then I just waited 3 years to jump on it again, which was this year. Within 4 sessions on it, was able to get it. This one was a hard one. Merciless Onslaught is merciless. It is tough. It's rated at a 12B, but there are a lot of people that say it's a very hard 12B, or it might be a 12C. It starts out with a slightly overhung boulder problem, probably in the V5 range, maybe V6. But you get through that little boulder problem, then there's a nice rest where you can kind of get it back, and then you jump into the beginning of the crux, which is kind of a sustained crux for the length that it is. From there, you're dealing with just like teeny side pulls and crimps and some reachy crimps and very delicate feet and very precise feet that you need to focus on. At that point, you get into this little dihedral where you have to clip off of these just little nubbins that are down inside the little corner crack. And then from there, you have to somehow position your feet in the right spot to reach up for a little pinch inside the dihedral. And then advancing up from that can get a little tricky because it's scary, because at that point, the next bolt, by the time you get to it and clip it or blow the clip, your last piece of protection is way below you. So that's a very mental section. And then from there, it eases off, but you're just so pumped and drained from the previous section that you could easily blow the last slabby finish. I felt like I knew where to put everything. I only had to growl or grunt once, and it was slow moving, but it was efficient. So now that I got that out of the way, I want, for this episode, to talk about the routes that I am now going to pursue. In 2009, I sent my first 512 called Dark Justice. It's rated as a 12A, maybe 12B, and it's located at High Sea Rock, which is in the Idaho Falls, Rigby, Ryrie, Rexburg area. Took a bunch of sessions, but I did it all within 1 season. And I remember it was interesting because it was the first route that I really had to do with memorized data. And then in 2010, I sent JUMANJI, which is down in the St. George area of Utah at the Black and Tan Wall. Within 1 week, maybe 3 sessions total, I was able to get that route. And then the third one was a route called Wango Tango. It's on the same rock at high sea, and that one I flashed. And that's a 12A, and so that's probably been my quickest send of a 512 to date. Also in 2011, I climbed a route called SNIPE Hunter, which is in Colorado. That one is a 12B, maybe 12C. And then Bolt Ladder in 2012, which is a 12B. The guidebook says maybe it's a 12C, but we'll go with 12B. That is in Logan Canyon at the China Wall, just right of the China Wall cave. And then in 2013, I was able to bag 3 512s, Sessions in the High Uintas of Utah, Route 66 in American Fork Canyon, and MANDELA, which is in American Fork Canyon. Then in 2014, I only bagged 1 hard route. That's because all of 2013 and most of 2014, I was projecting Teardrop, which is a 513A. Got that in July of 2014, and after that, I started pursuing upping my game in trad climbing. So I just kind of stopped pursuing 512 sport. And then in 2015, I sent Tilda Screams, 12A in American Fork Canyon. And then Naked Nebula in American Fork Canyon, also a 12A. And then Pigpen, also in American Fork Canyon, and a 12A. And then in 2016, I reached my goal of sending my first 512 on trek. That route is called Burning Embers, and it's found in Big Cottonwood Canyon. And then in 2017, I sent a 512B, which is called ISOTONER MOANER, also in American Fork Canyon. And then I skipped 2018. I didn't send any outside 12s. I sent a handful, quite a bit of 12s in the gym. I was consumed with life. I was consumed with having another baby. I was focusing on some other projects that weren't climbing related. And so kind of took that year off, kind of broke that string of at least 112 since 2009. And then today was able to get my first 512 of the 2019 season. Super psyched on that. Overall, I have a total of 15 routes that I'm going to need to repeat by unsending and then quickly resending. What is the game plan for getting all these routes? Obviously, I have a few routes that are in Idaho, one in Colorado, a few in Utah that are a bit far away. So I'm going to start off with the close ones because American Fork Canyon is an ideal place that I can go early in the morning before work and it's within a reasonable drive. Start off with Route 66 and Mandela. Those are the first two at the membrane wall in American Fork Canyon. If I'm doing well, I could get both of them in the same session, but I highly doubt it. I've never been able to do two 12s in one session before, but that would be amazing. So hopefully in the following episodes, you'll see my work being done on Route 66. I thank you so much for joining me on this fun little adventure that I'm doing, this fun little project. Stay tuned for additional episodes as I try to unsend all of my 512s and the one 513 that I've climbed before.